Shalom, welcome to my channel, the Hebrew Bible. This is Moses Gumadi, and in this video we'll look at the Parashat Huqqat. Parashat Huqqat is a portion of the Bible in the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 1 through chapter 22, first verse only. Okay, it's called Parashat Huqqat, and in this video we'll look at the red heifer. This parasha, or the portion of the Torah, has all these elements, these stories here. The law of the red heifer, which we're going to look at shortly. We'll look at. We will not look at that in this video, but we just mentioned that in this parasha there's also death of Miriam in Kadesh mentioned. Also, Moses strikes the rock for water instead of speaking to it, and then God is angry with him, and he refuses entry to Moses into the promised land. We also have in this parasha the death of Aharon in Mount Hor, and also Moses makes a bronze serpent when the Israelites were bitten by poisonous serpents. Finally, Sihon and Og, these kings of Bashan and the king of Amorites, were defeated in war. These were supposed to be very strong kings, and they were defeated. And that's what we read in this particular parasha. So let's begin with the book of Numbers, chapter 19, verse 1. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe ve'el Aharon lemor, Zot Huqqat HaTorah asher tziva Adonai lemor. Okay. So here is where we are getting that word Parashat Huqqat. Huqqat comes from here. Zot Huqqat. This is the Huqqah of the Torah. What is a Huqqah? That's the statute. The statute of the Torah. So Torah means instruction, but Huqqah means statute. Statute, or a it's like a law, but the meaning is not given. Rather, the reason is not given. It is like a decree. Okay, just do it. That's it. Whether you understand the purpose of it or not, or whether there is a purpose or not. So Huqqat is the word. Huqqah is the word. This occurs in Arabic, also in Urdu related languages, in Persian, etc. Also the word hok. Hok is also there. Het with a cholam and a kof. Hok. In Urdu it is called hukum. Hukum is exactly the same word. I know some of my Indian and Pakistani audience, there are few, so they might understand this particular word. Right, and so what did the Lord say? The Lord commanded, Lemor, Daber el Bnei Yisrael. So say like this to the children of Israel, Vekikhu elecha para aduma temima. Take for yourselves a red cow, a para aduma, a red heifer, a red cow, temima, which is complete or perfect, meaning there are no spots or blemishes, non-red blemishes. Okay, para is a cow. Actually, in the text here, it doesn't read para, it reads farah. So let's read again. Daber el bnei Yisrael vaikhu elecha farah aduma. But that's because of the flow of the sentence. We have this farah aduma, but actually the word is para, which means a cow or a heifer. Now adumma, there is a dagesh, and you should double it. Adumma. So there is a double M there. It means red, and it's obviously in the feminine, because this adjective is applied to the para, which is in the feminine, but actually the word is adom. Adom means red, from which the word adumma comes, and Adom and Edom are related. Basically, Edom, that is Esau, the eldest son of Jacob, Isaac, Yitzchak, the brother of Jacob, is called Edom, means red. Edom. Okay, also the word Adam, they're all related. It's the same root. Okay, now let's move forward in the book of Numbers, chapter 9, verses 3 to 4. So you take that red heifer and do what? and it has to be slaughtered outside the camp. And who does that? Eliezer the Kohen. We read, Untathem otah, so give it to Azar, that is Eliezer, Azar, HaKohen, the priest. Now, Aaron was still alive, obviously, and so Eliezer was the deputy, and he was in the chief high priest, and so therefore this particular ritual of the red heifer was not supposed to be done by the high priest, but the second one or third, whatever, deputy, the Kohen. So that's how they have taken it, because afterwards, after Eliezer, obviously, who's going to do? Someone else. Right, so you shall give it to Eliezer the Kohen, and he shall take it outside the camp. Camp is Machane. We'll come to that. And you have to take from its blood with its fingers and sprinkle towards the front of the tent of the meeting 7 times. Penei Ohel Moed. Ohel Moed is the tent of meeting. Midma Shva Pe'amim. 7 times. The blood has to be sprinkled. Right, so the word is Kohen, which means a priest, which is a common surname amongst the Jews, sometimes spelled with a C. C-O-H-E-N, sometimes K-A-H-N, Khan. I wonder if K-H-A-N, Khan, like among the Arabs, not Arabs actually, the Pashtuns, etc., or the Mongolian people, they had this Khan surname. I don't know if it is in any way related, but there are related words in Ethiopian, in Amharic, a similar word, Kohen. So their priests are also called Kohen. In fact, the father-in-law of Moses, Yitro, was a Kohen of Midian. So this word is quite, it's not restricted only to the Israelites, neither is this word limited to the priests of the Lord. So it's quite a wide word. Now, Machane is the word for encampment or the camp. And so that the para aduma had to be slaughtered outside the camp. And so that's the word Machane, means the camp or the encampment, whether of the people who are traveling like this, like the Israelites, or it could be a camp of an army. When they set up a camp somewhere to stop over, that's called a Machane. Now the word Midamah, this is a hay with a mapik, and it means from her blood. This is like the pronominal suffix, you can say her blood. From her. From is me. Dam is the blood. Dam is the blood. So midamah means from her blood. From whose blood? The blood of the para aduma, which is in the feminine. Dam is, of course, the blood. Now, once it is slaughtered, a ritually clean person, when it is slaughtered, and then what happened? We have not read some verses. They put in a hyssop, they put in the cedar wood and other things, and they burn the whole thing, and they get the ashes and use the ashes, mix it in the water for the purpose of purifying. That's the purpose of this para aduma. And so we read here, Ve'asaf ish tahor et efer hapara. So he has to, a clean person has to gather, take up ve'asaf, to gather together the efer or the ashes of the para, of the cow, and put them outside the camp in a clean place. So they used to apparently put it in 3 places. One outside, just somewhere closer to the temple, maybe premises outside, and one in the Mount of Olives, another somewhere. I mean, I forgot where exactly they used to say. They used to do three places, it seems. But in any case, so I think when they place it in the Mount of Olives, that's the one that the high priest used to use to cleanse himself and others, the priests, from any contamination. Okay. So, by the way, so it has to be kept as for keepsake, for the safety, for the congregation of the children of Israel, for the sprinkling water, for cleansing. Me is a maim. Maim in the construct is me. Me nidda hatat he. So hatat is to cleanse, but khata, we'll talk about the word khata as well. Actually, it also means to sin. It's a very interesting word, that. Right, so some words here. Tahor, we just saw the word tahor means a clean person. The word tahor means clean. In the morning blessings, we read, there is a word we read, the neshama that you have given is pure. So, shenashama, the haneshama, shenatata, li tehora. You say means that it is tehora, means it's pure. So the word tahor is clean. And this word efer, which was there here, ve'asaf ish tahor et efer. So this word efer means ashes. And interestingly, this word also rhymes with the word afar. The only difference is, of course, that is ain pe resh, whereas this is this is aleph pe resh efer, ashes. Whereas if you substitute the aleph with ain pe resh is dust. Afar is dust. And there is a verse which is used where both of the words occur together. In fact, Abraham used it before God. He said, I'm dust and ashes. He said, ve'anochi afar ve'efer. So I am afar, that is dust, and the ashes. Now God made Adam out of the dust of the earth. We read in Genesis chapter 2 verse 7. We read, Vayitzer Adonai Elohim et ha'adam min ha'adama, min afar min ha'adama. So from the dust of the earth he has formed. Okay, so afar and efer. Sometimes, these type of, very interesting word plays occur. Right, so here, para adumma, here we read, asher ein ba mum, asher lo ala aleha ol. Look at this, the last sentence here. Ala aleha ol. So, ein lamed, al means upon. From this word comes elyon, the Most High. Ala means to rise. Ola is the offering, the burnt offering that goes up. It says lo ala aleha ol. So upon which no yoke was laid. So all is a yoke because it is laid upon its neck. So it's a very interesting word play. You see this ain lamed occurring together. Right, so what is the purpose of this sprinkling of this water, made of, these ashes? Why are the ashes required? To clean. And what sort of uncleanliness are we talking about? Primarily that of the uncleanliness or impurity that is acquired by touching a corpse, a dead body. Hanogea b'meth lachol nefesh adam vetame. So this is the impurity. Vatame means shall become unclean. Shiva yamim, 7 days. So anyone touching the corpse of a human soul shall become unclean for 7 days. Now nothing of this sort is mentioned for animals. Well, if you touch an animal corpse, you'll be unclean until the evening and you wash yourself and then you are fine. But whereas a human soul, they become unclean for 7 days. So that shows that it is not just about the bacteria or anything. There is a bit of a deeper reason. Now, I'm not very qualified for that, but there's some sort of a Kabbalistic reason for that. Some sort of the soul which is left, maybe it lingers around some parts of it. We don't know exactly what happens, but there is a reason why God has given this, because of which the uncleanliness is longer and cannot be cleansed unless this is done, on the third and seventh day he shall cleanse himself with it, so he can become clean. But if he does not sprinkle himself with it on the third and the seventh day, he shall not become clean. And Jews do accept that in fact there is no one who is clean today, in the sense that there's a lot of contamination that has come through by touching dead bodies, whether of the deer bones, etc. And there is no means of cleansing. There is no para aduma. Okay. So that's the problem. Okay, by the way, the para aduma is mentioned in the book of Hebrews in the New Testament, and you have a totally different doctrine, of course. But as far as the Torah goes, this is how one person is cleansed. Right, so let's move on. So the word is tameh. Tameh means to be unclean, and to be unclean. And the other word with which we read is chata. Yit chata. He will purify himself. Yit chata. Here we read here in the previous verse. Who yit chata wo bayom hashalishi. So he will purify himself. Yit chata. So yit chata is what? Why is that? This is hit pa'el stem. Okay, the verbal stems are there in one of my videos. I'll provide you a link below. Yit chata is a hit pa'el, which is a reflexive noun, meaning you do a certain action to yourself. So generally there is a subject and an object, right? You have the subject performing the action upon the object. So that's a straightforward one. And you have an active voice and a passive voice. Passive voice is the action being performed on that person. Here, reflexive means that you perform the action upon yourself. So yit chata, he will purify himself. So this is in the future tense, or the not quite future, we can say imperfect tense, that is yiktol, yit chata, but in the stem of hitpa'el. Okay, and the root word, of course, in the kal is chata. Chata means he sinned, but this word also means that to sin means basically in Hebrew to miss the mark, or to be deficient. To be deficient or to miss the mark. And so now, why is this word kata is actually translated as purify when it means to sin or missing the mark? Because in the PL stem it is used as hite is used as purify. But why is that? What is the relationship? I think that, as we said in the previous one, missing the mark or being deficient is used in a different way. So now you become deficient of the impurity. Okay, so becoming deficient, now that one is in an impure state, having sinned or having acquired impurity, then if you again do this, basically you are being deficient of the impurity, which means that you bore the loss of what? Of the impurity. Therefore, you are now purifying yourself. I think that's the sense in which that word is used. I hope my explanation is correct. But the point, though, is that this word is used in both senses. There is no doubt about that. That's a fact, as we can see in the Hebrew Tanach. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon. Also, please do comment. I do read your comments. I sometimes don't reply to all the comments. But please keep commenting, liking, and subscribing. That way we can actually, you can help me to grow this channel so that it can go to many people. Thank you very much.